Oh my gosh, everything has changed since I last did a live, and so yeah, I had to just adjust my technologies. So hopefully everyone can hear me okay. So tonight I wanted to share a light language transmission. This has been nagging me to do this for ages, but it's been a wild 6 weeks. The whole eclipse season has been intense, I think, for a lot of people. So oh, hello, hello, hi, Femi. um, yes, I was just saying that the eclipse season has been so intense the last like 6 weeks or so. And yeah, maybe you guys could let me know if you could hear me because I am using my little mic and I'm not 100% certain it is actually working. Hello, hi Femi. Hope you guys are doing okay. Um, Hello. So yeah, I am gonna share just a couple of answers to a couple of questions that were sent in, and then I'm gonna do a light language transmission. So I think it's probably gonna be about 25 minutes, half an hour, the light language transmission. Hi, Imka. Hope you're doing well. You can hear me. Okay, perfect. That's cool. So I'm gonna share this light language transmission, and yeah, I could feel just the codes building for it for the past couple of hours. I just had to lie down. And hey, Jane. And this is usually what happens actually when I do like a group transmission. Hey, Pete. Um, Usually when I do a group transmission, it's like the kind of hours leading up to it, I'm like, I am exhausted. I get so tired, and then I kind of get almost like irritable as the energy like builds, and then it's like, boom, ready to go. So, yes, I'm going to share the answers to a couple of questions. And if you guys have any questions about anything that I share in relation to what I'm going to say, then feel free to stick them in the chat. And yeah, I will get back to you. So the first question that someone had sent in to me, which I thought was so interesting because I had been getting nudged to talk about this for ages and just hadn't been following my yes with that. But the question was, do you have any insights on the Aurora Borealis? And this must have been the first round when it kind of started happening this year, which I think was like June or July. I actually can't remember exactly when it was, but I was sitting, had no idea that this was going to be going on or anything like that. And I was sitting and felt called to sort of enter into a bit of a meditation. And then all I could feel around me was all of these angelic beings. And I was like, wow, this is like really strong angelic presence. Like, whoa. And I was like, this is so beautiful. But I wasn't really tracking into where it was coming from or anything like that. And then a client actually messaged me and was like, did you know there's Aurora Borealis right now in Edinburgh? You can see it really clearly. And I was like, oh my God, like that's what this is. And I think that as this planet is going through such massive shifts and such massive changes, we're being hit with all of these really intense frequencies. And I think that's why we're seeing more and more Aurora Borealis at this time. Now, I know a lot of people are sort of think that it's to do with HARP and things like that, and I absolutely believe that that kind of stuff is going on. But when it comes to the Aurora Borealis, I don't get that. I don't, when I track into it, I'm like, no, this does actually feel like a genuinely natural phenomenon. So yeah, that's what I've received on it so far. And the other question that I had received was about dreams, and I do a lot of dream work. I'm very, very connected with my dream space, and yeah, the question was sort of how to better work with your dreams. And the first thing I would say is, and I know this is like a lot of people say this, but it's so true, is like write them down. Like write them down, because if you aren't building that connection where you're actually being able to recall what's happening, it's going to make it a lot harder to interact with that space. And Also, if you see me sort of clicking my fingers or anything like that, I'm just moving the energies because the transmission is really starting to build. So we are going to have to begin soon. But yeah, so often with dreams as well, you know, that once your consciousness knows that it can transmit messages to you that way, you will start to get them more. It's like once you sort of put into that portal, you start to receive so much more from it as well. So it's kind of like a two-way street. Whereas if your higher self knows you don't actually really pay much attention to your dreams, then it's probably not going to use that as a mechanism to send you messages. It's probably going to try and find other vehicles to do so. So once you kind of open up to that aspect of your consciousness, you'll find that it just becomes so much more dynamic. And I would say mugwort, damiana, blue lotus, herbs like that, particularly mugwort. Mugwort is like next level if you want to access sort of trance states, if you want to really start to work deeper with your dreams. I would highly recommend mugwort. She is the most magical grandmother herb. And yeah, I would say that would be the main way to start doing it. And you'll find that once you start to write them down, even if it's just little pieces, you know, it doesn't have to be a lot, just even textures, smells, things like that. The more you start to do it, the more it will start to open up. And within probably a couple of weeks, you're going to be writing whole pages. Like, I've never not known that method to work for someone. It literally works for everybody to just start writing them down. Hi, Fiona. Yeah, just literally start writing them down and just start to watch how that magic unfolds in your life. And I was just talking, Fiona, I was just talking about mugwort. We've had conversations about how magical that herb is. So yeah, highly, highly recommend for dream work. And the other thing I would suggest with dreams as well is every night before you go to sleep is to set the intention to collapse any old Akashic records which are no longer serving you. Set that intention before you go to sleep. And it is such a powerful practice. And I actually had a client message me not even that long ago who had tried it and was like, oh my God, it actually works. Like it genuinely works. You will see things like dissolving in your dream space, or you'll notice certain patterns closing out. And you know, our dreams really are that directional portal. Like when we use our intention with them, we can really see true potent magic occur. So I'm feeling this transmission literally about to burst out of me. So I would say, just whether you're listening on the replay or you're listening live, just maybe take a deep breath in and just be open to receive. If you guys have had sessions with me, then you know that I bring through light language, and it is this immensely powerful healing tool. It is a combination of light tones and frequencies which are transmitted from various beings on higher planes, which is transmitted also from the earth, from Gaia. So many things have light language around them, and you know, from rocks to flowers, they all emit these different tones and frequencies. And so when you're channeling light language, there's so many different things that might be coming through at any given time. And I always say, try not to understand it logically, try not to interpret it in that way. If there's messages meant to come through, you will get them eventually. They will find their way to you. Just allow yourself to receive. And that sort of overrides us trying to, sometimes we can block the transmission by trying to understand it mentally too much. This is much more of a heart-based, ethereal kind of thing. So just connecting in with your breath and just tuning into your root as well, and just getting grounded before you receive this. And just imagining a cord dropping down from your root. And going down into the center of the earth. And we're just asking for Gaia just to open up to us and hold us as we receive this transmission. And just imagining calling that energy back up, that cord that we have released from our root, and just bringing it back up through all of the different layers of the earth. Just grabbing anything that you need from any of the layers of crystals, underground rivers that exist within the inner earth. And just calling that energy up, back up to our root, and bringing it up into the heart space. And then we're just going to send another cord up through our upper energy centers, up through the top of our crown, and we are just going to ask to connect in with our source point for this lifetime. And we don't have to know exactly what that is. Our soul knows and will guide us to wherever that might be in the solar system, right the way across the cosmos, and we're just going to connect in with that. And we're just going to ask for that energy, all of those tones, to start to come back down through our crown. And our source coding contains all of the information that we have decided is important to carry with us within our blueprint for this lifetime. So just bringing everything that is necessary from that. Any little reminders that your soul has for you, just bringing that down and anchoring it through the crown and down into the heart space. And yeah, I'm just hearing this as like a full system clearing. Hi Sita, hi Abby. And there may be codes coming through which are not directly for you. There may be codes which are coming through specifically for one person or for a couple of people or people on the replay. So just receiving whatever is in the highest alignment for you. Doing a lot of work on the throat at the moment. And just pulling those codes all the way down, and just grounding them into the root. And just bringing through what feels like a activation for the light body. Activating just returning any projections from the throat space which do not belong to us, anything we've bought and sold as ours, which is not actually ours to carry, we're returning them now. And just connecting in with the womb space. Even if you're a man listening to this, you can still connect with the cosmic womb, with this sort of etheric womb space. We're just pulling some information from what we might call like the sacred mother field. So many of us have difficult or challenging relationships with our parents, and these archetypes exist in their purest form within the cosmos, and we can draw the energy that we need from the more pure forms of that. So when we feel we might need that mothering, that nurturing, and you can also connect in with the Sacred Father matrix as well, but we're really tuning into the frequency of the Divine Mother, the Cosmic Mother. And just freeing up some of the density that we're holding in our mother lines. Anywhere we're still holding that feeling of like that we've disappointed our mothers, that we're not living up to their expectations, dissolving that now. That we have to impress them, that we have to please them. And again, just grounding that in to the root. Santa Rusha say Visankai si Visankai Veshikri Futaisha Muisa Lui Lete Shukurasai Sha Sukre Shukurasa Futasha Nishakrandasha. It's interesting. This is like a energy coming through from feels like the very center of Africa, like sort of kind of Congo kind of area, and that portion of the world really holds like deep mother codes. I'm sensing like a sort of past life wounding here that definitely more than one person on the call carries. It's almost like a reconciliation with the land. It might be ancestral for some as well. Just clearing that on behalf of the collective. Misala Fatesha Kuntasha Fatesha Fiesa Ikaya. Getting a lot of big cat energy coming through right now. Fatesa Fatesha Fatekantasa Dasa Keshe Sukrasha Vushayasa Kuisha Vushayasa Kre Nasa Kretush Kurasa Husha Kantayasa Hisayasa Kureshe Futeshe Kri Si Sui Shukre Sikreasha Sukreasha Hisamasa Krui Shakrataya Shukrataya Sukrete She Se Kri Krikaya Sukrete Gershe Futanza Krushe Kreasa Futakaita Vutakaisha Vuteshe Se Krikaya Sukresha Visakrayasa Futakayasa Isha Krutaya Shukrayata Zekreasa Nisala Payatui Shasa Futakara Sai Futakai Se Futeshe Se Kri Ose Shuksu Sukru Shukrasa Futayasa Cave. And just a big ancestral clearing happening right now. Wataingi, Soy Shukranda Sekrende Shukranda Samayasa Vishikande Se Kuisha Futasanda Suya Shakranda Shaya Sukrea Shakrea Savite Shukrasa Wishankaya Sukranda Shaya Se Kri Sayano Shukroya Shukranda Sa Nitala Sai Futaikai Se Futayasa Krendesha Wisankaya Futaya San Kura Sakura Suya Shukrasa Mishakura Taya Sukranda Sha Futakasaya Sha Mukruteya Shuyasa Misakuya Satu Kuya Shikarataya Shukratasaya Sushikrata Karataya Shukumasaya Futakase Fuisa Futasa dissolving now Kutnaya Sha Sukatataya to Shikurataya Shama Saya Se Futaya Sha Si Kriyasa Futakanda Sa Futakantaya Sa Futakantaya Se Futakente Se Futakaya Sukara Shukurata Sama Utakura, saya shukuranda, saya lukuya sa, fitankai sa, isa, suya shukura sa, futaya sala, suya shukuranda sakuraya sa, futaya shukura saya shuya sa, futakashaya sa, fitantaya sukraya shuya sikreya shukraya saya, suya shukura saya shukraya say, futaya sakreya shukura sa, just removing some cording from around the sacral, from around the womb, futaya Stasa, Nusakrasa, Vishakantai, Ftete, Sosi, Ftete, Zaya Shukrase, Ftete, Hey Abby, Ftese, Shukrasa, Ftaka Shukrasa, Ftakasai, Ftokesha, Vishakantai, Ftasa, Ftasa. Ukosa, Futakashi, Futayasha, Vishakantai, Fatala, Sekoi Shukura, Sakesa, Futakesa, Fuisha, Futasayasa, Futakasha, and any energy we're holding in the auric field that is not ours, just returning that. Futaisai, Futakaisa, Futakasa. Fushakasaya soy, Shukurandasa, Futakasai, Futaisai, Kay Uiti, Shukuranda Sakratagan, Shukurandasha, Masaya Sukrui, Futakayasa, Futakasai, Futakasha. This is really specific, but anywhere we've been told to keep our mouth shut. Destroying and uncreating that across all timelines, dimensions, spaces, and realities. I think someone had a bit of a tongue tie going on there energetically, so we're just going to take that out. Futakasha. Futakasa, Futakaisai, Futayasha, we're all free to express. We should all be free to speak our truth. Futakaisai, Futayashe, say krik, Sukuratakara, Sukunacha, Shukurata, Mushakundayasa, Litikurayasa, Futayasha, Hushantaya, Sukaya, Shukui, say Futayashukuranta, say Sui Shukurataya, Sukurasha, Sukayasho, Sui Shikirisa. Vishakantai sa, Vutayasa, Futakasha, and a lot of solar codes coming through right now. Vutakasai, Vutakantai sa, Vutsai Shake, Sui Shukurasa. Vusokoyasha, Vusoya Shukuranta Samayasa, Kuisha Kai, Futaisai, Misankantai, Futaisa, Layasukai, Shay Sekri, Krikri, Futaisha kuishu krasan krantaishu krataya sukratayashu krata karanta shoya sakraya sukraya 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 shukrasa kraya taya sukra Furaishu krasaya shukusaya shuisa Vishakraya sa Vishakaya sa Wisha wisha wisa wisa Futaisa Huisa Futaisha Suishakrasaya shukrasaya shukrasa Usukrandasha Mosaya sukrandasha Masaya soya shakrataya Visakantai futayasha Vishakantai Vishakantai Asikre Shukra Sukre Shukra Sukre Shukra Saya Shukranta Samayasa Futakaise Ke Sui Shukra Sanda Sa Futayasanda Sakrat Ashkrat Shukra Sa Futakantai Se Futayashe Misakruya Shukranda Taru Saya Shukra Se Vishakantai Sa Futakantai Se Futayase Kui Shukra Sa Misha Kroya Sukro Toge Kuro Taya Shuisa Misa Kura Sa Fukura Sa Vishay we say Kisa we say Ki Ayasa Shukrasa Takantasa Takantayasa Fitankai Yasa Wusha Kantayasa Kuisha Kantayasa Kurate Shuisa Futakantai se Futei Sushikre Futakantai se Suishikre Sa Futakantai Sayafa Vishakantai Sukranta Shakurataya Suishukrasa Futakasha Vushikasaya Sa Futakantai Sa Futakasai Sukata Rushaya Sukata Dayasa Visakantaya Shukratsaya Sukrandasha Futakasha Dissolving now Vitaisha Vishakanta Isaya Sui Shukrantasa Vishakantai Viyasa Koyasha Visakantai Visa Lutaya Shukratsa Vishakantai Futai Sikayasha Sukrasandai Se Futakai Sai Shuyasa Koyasha Sayasa Vishakrasa Futayasha Isha Saya Suike Vishakaya Sukayasha Vishakantaya Sukayasha. I'm just grinding all of this in. Futayasha Say Sukayasha Futayasa Luya Sukrandasha Miyasa Futayandashu Kruyasha Futayasa Visa Visankai Mashukurasa Futakantai Fuyasaya Sai Fikantai Se Fui Yaru Sayashukananda Samayasha Mishakantai Fuya Sakura Shave Tataya Sa Futakasha Futaisha Shakrasa and it's like we're sealing some auric fields. Futakantai Fuisha Futakasa Fuisha My light went out in here. Ushakai Suyashaka Futakanta Futa Sa Ushakuntai Futaishi I'm just grinding all of this down. Takasha further down to the soles of the feet. I'm just grinding into Gaia. Sikrayasha, Sukrasha, Vishakantaisa, Futakasa, Vishandai, Latakoyasa. Yeah, and there's a message for someone here really strongly. Just saw all the fairy portals arrive as we're like grounding all of this in, and this is a really strong message for someone on this call to start connecting deeper with the fairy realms. Futakaisai, Feishi, Vishakantai, Futaisa, What's Okay, thank you everyone for coming. Just gonna check. Thank you for coming, Emmy. And I think you can probably catch the replay as well if you want to watch it from the start. And Lanner, I could feel that stuck in my throat. Yeah, it felt like there was a lot of throat clearing going on. And removing some like energetic tongue ties as well. I could feel that really, really strongly. Oh, thank you, Imka. Thank you for coming. Okay, amazing. Thank you everyone for coming. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me. Thank you, Fiona. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Chills all over. Thank you, Femi. Thank you, Mimi. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you, Sita. Oh, love from Italy. Oh my god, you're in Italy. Amazing. Hope you're getting some sun. It's been raining here for so long. Thank you, Pete. Thank you for coming. Talk about ancestral clearing. Yes. Oh my gosh, there was so much ancestral stuff coming through at one point, and real like inner child stuff as well. There was a very childlike galactic being that came through for a while at one point who was having a whale of a time. Yeah, thank you guys, sending you all so much love. Oh, do you have your mugwort in a tea or a tincture? I have it in a tea, and it's so powerful, like, and you don't need a lot of it either. But yeah, like I know when I'm having like mugwort dreams, you know, they're like crazy, crazy powerful. And yeah, I just recommend just in a tea before bed, or it's really good for kind of inducing like trance states as well. If you're wanting to do some deeper meditation too, have a mugwort tea. Yeah, never tried a tincture, but I imagine that would also be potent. So yeah, cool guys. It was so lovely to connect with you all, and I will speak to you all soon. Lots of love. Bye bye.